So here navigate to FDME is navigate, administer, data management. This is nothing but we can call them as financial data management enterprise edition. This is FDME window where we can work our total activities, setups and the process of the data. Everything will be done from here. So here you can find the tabs like workflow and setup thing. So in setup we can do everything. We need to set up everything from here itself only. And apart from that, we should know something about ODI. ODI is not required that much. ODI Studio here itself we need to have some ODI console because of to find out the error logs or to find out the process IDs, for which we need to have the ODI console. For that, the console URL is localhost in the sense server name 6550 and ODI console. So the work repository, but you don't bother about this one. I will tell you later on to enter into this one and see the artifacts and to see the logs and the process IDs. We will see later on. But just I am saying we should require ODI console if you are the admin. Again, if you are the admin, then you need to have the ODI console to find out the logs and process IDs. Those type of information we can get from the ODI console. We don't require ODI Studio. Sometimes it requires ODI Studio when you are integrating with your source systems. Because of there itself, you need to create some data servers in ODI to get into the to get connected to the your source systems. We can see later on. ODI Studio is not required for us. I mean, if you are the developer, if you are the admin, you should have idea about ODI as well as FDME also. From here, we can see one by one. Setup tab. We are first going to check how we need to set up our system first. System settings, configuring the our applications and paths, navigation paths and everything we are going to set up over here. System settings, here we have file based, POV, ODI, other and all. Mean like all in the sense we can have the all information about the four members. So if we are having the file types, here the profile type is file or ODI or other POV. What is it mean? Mean like profile type in the sense what are the data source types? Simply I will tell you one by one. So your source, how you are getting the data, how you are getting data from your source system, whether it is a file based one or EBS, mean or SAP, likewise or interface tables. Likewise, we have different types of different kind of things that we can have to get that to fetch the data from your source systems, right? So if we are setting up the systems for each one, like file based, POV, or others means interface tables, how you are going to set up those concepts. So if you are file based in things, you need to have the application folder. We need to give the application folder and creation that folder. Mean like we have the path for financial data management enterprise edition to have the information. I will show you that one. We have created one folder in C folder. Go back to C drive and see if this FDME. So here itself you can find the information of two boxes, mean three folders are there. One is inbox, outbox and data. I will explain this one by one, but when you create any application you need to give the path to find out where the data been stored. Apart from this folder path, the data will be stored into a relational database also. I am going to log in into the SQL developer to show the FDMEE schema. These are all technical concepts, mean just we need to know before going to start the application, and we can work on the mappings, locations, those concepts are simply. Apart from that, we should have some idea, we need to have some idea about this technical information also. Yes. So this is the FDME schema. While configuring the application of FDMEE, we had given the schema of FDMEE schema. If you would like to see these properties, just a moment. The schema name username is FDM that I have created while creating the application. While configuring the application, I have given the schema name as FDM. So the tables which already defaulted tables are there, those will be automatically created while creating the application. Here itself we can have, and we need to have some of the tables only we required. Those tables will be from here itself, T, which are starting with T. So these tables we require to fetch the data, and we do manipulations and everything we can use by using these tables. We can see later on this part tables, but the thing is, what I am saying is, the data will be maintained in a folder path, Windows folder path, as well as data will be stored into relational database also, which you have provided the schema name. That's what my intention to tell you. Here the path is also store the data, inbox, outbox, and reports folders are created, which you have given the path over here. You are saying the second one, create location folder. If you can say yes, means it will be create the location folder, otherwise it will not be created the location folder. What is meant by location folder? Location folder, in the sense, we have the concept of location in FDMEE. That is, your organization is being operated across the global, right? US, UK, Australia, Singapore. Likewise, you have different locations across the global. You need to create each location while loading the data, and you need to give some setups for each locations. So total everything will be depends on the, based on location only we can do the data loadings, and everything we will be doing based on location only. We can see that one later on, but what is meant by location, in the sense, it's a like kind of data load activity will be happening by using the location itself only. So if you want to create the location folder, like you need to create, if you are creating US, means it will be creating one folder in the backend, here it will be creating one folder. Like if you are creating the India, it will be creating like this location. If you are going to create any Indiana, it will be creating one folder. California, it will be creating one folder. Likewise, it will be creating the location folders. So if you are saying yes, means it will be creating archive mode. If you are saying archive mode, means it will be archiving the data, everything. Excluded file upload wildcards. Wildcards, in a sense, unnecessary data, ashtray, question mark, those kind of data. If you want to exclude, we need to exclude that type of data. Batch size we can see later on. While doing the batch triggering and the batch scheduling, at that moment we can see that one. And file character set, defaultly it will come UTF-8. If you want to change apart from that, you can change by using this one, but normally we can take this one only. Okay, so the file based profile, if you are getting, you need to give the information. Main important one is you need to give the root folder where you want to store your data in the Windows folder path. And next, POV, in the sense, here itself we need to tell about the default POV. This default POV we will see later on. We have the point of intersection also here in FDMEE to navigate into the HFM. To navigate to load the data into HFM application. The default POV location, the default POV period, default category, default POV mode. So you need to say, if you are saying US, sorry, just a moment. No, నవల సరే నేను రికార్డ్ చేస్తున్నాలే. సరే సరే. So we are saying like default POV location. So when the user wants to load the data into HFM application, he get into the application, the default location would be US. He has to change the location from one location to another location, and he has to load the data, right? If you are giving the default things, default settings means it will be directly giving the end users the default things. So the default POV, default POV, period, category, and mode, global mode, and this one is global mode and local mode. I will tell you this one, like this is the admin activity. If you are saying no means it goes to the local mode. If you are saying global mode POV is yes, then it will be global mode. I will be explaining here itself only what is the use of global mode and the local mode. Global mode in the sense, the users and admin, the users can log in into the application and they can do their activities of the data loading itself. But when you keep it as global mode is no, then what will be happening is users can't be logging into the application. We can make it as no at the time of maintenance activities. Say for example, you do all the activities and everything is fine and go live, and data has been loading by the users, that's fine. But some point in time you need to do some modification in your application, but at that moment users doesn't log in into the application. Then what we have to do, we are not going to tell them don't log in, that kind of things. Just we go and do this one as global mode into, keep it as no, so no other users can log in into the application, into the application when the global POV mode is no. If it is no means it's a local mode. Local mode, only admin can log in and do the activities, so no other user can't be logging into the users over there. Can you hear me? Okay, then POV in the sense, these are the default settings that we need to set up in the application. Next one is ODI. This information automatically will be updated while configuring the application. Just you need to check that connection, but I will be explaining this information also, what it is exactly, these components. Why we are using this one means, the database backend mean like in previous, in FDM, SQL star loader will be using to load the data from source to target. In the backend, SQL loader will be using, but here the problem is, the problem is not a problem, it's the thing is, the data will be loading by using the ODI engine. So everything has been built on ODI. So while configuring the application, we are not going to separately install the ODI. When you installing the FDMEE application, system itself will be installed the ODI console and ODI components, everything will be installed in that. So here we are not going to give anything over here, system itself will be taking care about these things. But here itself,
Hello.
ODI user.
Hello.
Yeah, hi.
Hi, Vasu. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, fine, fine.
Okay, thank you.
ODI, this information, everything will be, see, this is the path that I have used to open up the console. If you can observe this one, here itself I have been using this ODI console. We are using this path and this setup only, right? And ODI username always it's a unique one, supervisor, and password is synonym. So if you can take this supervisor user ID and password here synonyms, we can get into the application. This ODI console, we can get into the ODI console. We can see this one later on to check the details, error details, and process IDs also. Process ID in the sense, Each activity will be created one process ID. So you can see the process IDs and error logs will be seeing over here. And ODI execution repository and work repository. Here we have two repositories are there, work repository and master repository. These are the concepts of ODI. We are going to work on the master repository. It will be creating the master repository as FDMEE in ODI console. So if you have the ODI studio, then we can check that one also. I will install the ODI studio if possible today, and we'll see that components also. ODI studio is also, it's not required but for our sake, but I will install the ODI studio also today. Just give me a moment. Okay, we'll see later on. So here we need to provide this information. ODI Studio is being used to check the information about the data servers. I will be showing that one also. So the basic thing here itself you need to understand, this information will be automatically updated while configuring the application of FDMEE. Just you need to check the connection whether it is successfully connected to ODI or not. It's connecting. Right. Next one is others, in the sense if you have languages or any other things information that you need to give over here, you can give it. This is nothing, I mean it's default, some default values will come, and if you want to see all of them at a time, you can see all of the activities in here itself. So the thing is, you need to set up your system like a file based and default POVs. And next one, if it is ODI connection is connection string is correct or not, you need to check the ODI connection string. If you are changing the master repository, work repository, then you need to check the ODI connection whether it is giving the, I mean whether it has the proper connectivity with your ODI or not, because of everything will be happen through ODI itself only. The ODI engine is the most important one to run all the activities smoothly from FDMEE application. So we need to check the connection from ODI. From system settings, we need to do all these settings. Next one is application settings. So this is application specific. So here target application, this target application, how it is coming, right? Here we have two target applications. These two target application, how we are getting these two applications, for which we need to set up the target. Before going to target, we need to tell about the source systems. Here the concept is, first one is to register the source systems. So source system would be different types, like as I said, file based or application based, EBS or SAP kind of things. So these are all things you need to be, what I can say, registered into the application. So just I am saying, like, to register the source systems, here register, and register, go to source systems, and you need to register this application. Now we have only one thing is there, that is file based. So we can go with file based. I will be showing the screenshot about the, I mean like EBS or other source systems. We can how to register the things we can see through screenshots through PPT, because of we don't have any EBS systems installed on my machine. That's what. Okay, so I am going to create the new file system, new source systems, and you need to give the information in the below. What is your source system name? It's a file based and it would be like UK. My source system file name, just I'm giving the naming convention, and you can find your source system type. It would be anything from here. So you can say these many systems will be supported as your source systems directly. By giving this information and you are registering the source systems directly in FDMEE, there is a feasibility from HFM. You have loaded from your source system EBS and you are using FDMEE, and you loaded the data into HFM application or SBase or planning, whatever the application that it be. That will be whatever the application here. You have to load the data into here itself. But when you navigate, drill down the data from your HFM application or planning application, if you drill down from here, the data will be navigated to the GL systems as well as subledger systems also. That is the main feature that we have in by using the FDME. Because of you are already registered your source systems, and by using the FDME you did some mappings and everything, and you are loading the data into your target applications, right? So when you navigate from here, it will be directly navigates to drill down to your source systems, GL systems, and as well as your subledger systems. So what are the source systems it is going to be supported? So here Oracle EBS 11i and R12 and file-based Fusion Apps. Fusion Apps is the one of the new one which will be released by the Oracle. Already it's been released. JD Edwards, others in the sense interface tables, people's or financials and HCM, human resource management, and SAP BW. These are the systems will be supported so far in 11.123 and 11.124. I didn't check that one. We can still by tomorrow or by this weekend I can be installed that 11.124 version also. We'll see if there is any new what I can say new sources will be added or not. We can check at that time. Now I am my source system type that I am taking as file only, because of if you install and you have the access for your EBS or SAP some kind of things, then we can provide those information about your Oracle e-business suite 11i and everything. But when you when you give your source system type as 11i, then we have one prerequisite for that also. Again, you just remember that one. You need to create the data server connectivity strings in ODI. Like you need to provide the your source system schema name and source system server name, a user ID and password. Those connection strings we need to establish at data ODI studio level at a data server. So then only we can have the connectivity your source system. Directly I am giving e-business suite release 11i. But how can system recognize that I am going to connect my EBS systems? We need to give some connection strings over there, right? So for which we need to give ODI studio and go to the data servers and provide the connection strings to establish the connection between your ODI to your source system. Okay, that I will show you in the PPT. Not application wise. So now I am taking the file system as one, and the context code is global, which was defined in ODI. Directly I am taking that one. So now you can save this information. So file UK, your file system source system that you have created, and you are saying just here your source system type that you are saying, whether it is file based or application based. What the source system that you are defining, that will be defining by here itself only. Okay, next one is target applications. You need to register the target applications also from here. So here I am going to give my target application. Here we have created the application. APR HFM application is also there. Just look on that applications. What are the applications that we have in HFM? So we have the applications APR, HFM, console, and RT. Right. I have given the green light for only APR, HFM, and console. I would like to register another target application also. Then what we have to do is add applications, and here you are doing like register the target application, for which you need to click on add, and you can see the total applications that we have: planning application, financial management database. ARM is the account reconciliation manager, which will be available in FCM, financial close management concept. So at that moment we have one application is there, that is ARM, account reconciliation manager. Now I am going with financial management. So it will be displaying only one application because of already rest of the two applications that already you registered in our system. Now we have only one application, that is RT, that I am going to register as my target application. You are saying your source as file, and you are saying your target would be financial management applications, and one of the financial management application that you can take. And we have total three applications, and we registered two applications, and we can have only one application to register as target. So now you have registered your target application. So you can see in target application summary you have given the target applications and everything. Now in the bottom of that window you can find the information about your application details, name, and your application type, and deployment type is classic and EPMA, two things are there. So your application is classic application or EPM application. Now my application is classic application only. So FDME is supports not only EPMA, it supports for classic applications also. That is another point you need to remember. Okay, so here you can find out the information your application is RT. So you can change the applications by clicking on the elapsed button, and here itself you can give the information about your dimensions. Let's give you columns. So all can to detach to show here this is a good option that we have. If you want to see this window in a full length mode, then we can detach that one, we can separately see this window here itself. So here you can see this one. I have been as imported registered the RT application, and you can see the total dimensions, and it will be giving the information as target dimension classes. Classes in the sense system itself they had given some classes that they have defined. By using that one we need to establish the classes types. Here these are the dimensions that we have in HFM application, and entity table column name, entity UD3, these are the column names that we have. UD3, UD1, UD3 like this is nothing but your user defined one, that is nothing but your HFM custom 1, custom 2, custom 3, custom 4. Okay, and that's class type here itself describing. See here itself entity, your table column name is entity itself only. Geography is your HFM application, that is nothing but your custom 3. Project, that is your custom 2. Cost center, that is your custom 1. Flows members, that is your custom 5. Distribution custom 4. We have total around 6 custom dimensions. Everything will be defined over here. ICP year, view, and value scenario, these are not been defined directly. There is a class itself. By taking the class it is having the information. So you can understand here the standard dimension which are in HFM, entity, ICP, view, year, account, those are already defined into as a class type here, and the UDs only that is showing as a generic account, generic class type. If you can see here, you can have multiple informations over there, your dimension class, whether is element or job code or position request, what is that dimension class that we need to provide over here. When it requires, then you can use this information, lookup and everything you can use from here itself only. Okay, the class type. By defaultly, if you are using the UDs, then it would be the generic class type. You need to define all this information while registering your target application. Okay, so now you can save this application, then this target application registration. See the server error log, more information. Okay, so now you have to register this one, but here we are getting some errors for this application. The server error log for more area of FCM server exception during BPI 2. I think that it doesn't have any information or register not register. Okay, no issues. So we need to register the application, target application from here itself. Now once your source system is registered and your target application is registered, then you can go into the application settings. So you have two applications that are registered. Those applications will be showing here itself. One is APR HFM, another one is console HFM. APR HFM is our application. Now you should have this information. So we are not giving anything over here. If you want to give any application settings defaultly that we need to have, then you can give the information over here. So here itself also default POV location, default POV period, category, global mode. This will be to the specific to the application. We have given in system settings. If you can observe this one in system settings also, we had given the information as POV. This will be applied for entire application, I mean for all applications. Android attendee. Who is this Android attendee? Who has joined? Hello. Who's joined, Ryan? Hello.
This is Raghavendra.
Hello.
Srinivas, this is Raghavendra.
I'm not
Yeah,
able to.
Vasu?
Yeah, who has joined?
Raghavendra over here.
Android attendee. Who is this one? So here you can see the default location. This information will be applicable for all the. This information will be applicable for all the applications. Now you can see the application settings here itself. This is specific to one application. This is specific to only one applications that you are giving the default POV locations and everything. Your language, interface theme, check report, everything. So I am not giving anything over here. If you would like to give any information or any default locations or any default POV for that particular application, then you can set up like that if you have the requirement in this type. Okay, languages and everything. Because of this information already we defined at system settings level, and if you would like to override the default settings, means overall settings over there, then you need to give the these settings, like application specific settings. Who's joined? Raghava. Okay, fine. Okay, then default settings that you need to give for the application specific over there. So your source system has been registered and your target application has been registered, and you have given your system settings for POVs and file path, folder path, and you had given the ODI information. I will be explain the folder path which we had given over here. I will be explain that thing. We can see what is this file path. Application root folder. So what is the use of application root folder? So just this is the Windows folder where we can store all the information. Just we can see what it is actually. So here we will have three folders. One is inbox folder, outbox folder, and data folder. Okay, what is the use of this inbox, outbox, and data folder? So you are having different locations that I said, right? You can have multiple locations across the global, mean like UK, US, and these are can be called as locations. I will be explain the locations also, but here you need to understand locations. But I have created these locations, fine. But each location is having their own set of trial balance data, right? TB data. This is nothing but your GL. So I can say USGL, I can say UKGL, Australia GL, and Singapore GL data. This is nothing but trial balance data that you have, right? So this data, this UK data or US data that I am getting from your source systems, like it is whether it is file based or source based, whatever it is, you are getting this data. But when I am saying create location for each folder, when I am setting up as yes in my settings, where creation folder location, I am saying yes, the folder will be created while creating the folders. How to create the locations we will see in the next step. When you are creating the location, system automatically gets created the create location folder. Separately it will be creating one folder in the inbox itself. Inbox. So the next step is when you create the application folder, it will be creating the location folder itself. Thereafter, when you are importing the source data, it will be automatically import into your source systems here. So you can see the data over here. This is nothing but your source data. So the thing is, when you are importing the data from your source system, the file automatically gets imported and will be stored at the inbox and separately their location, respective location. So the respective location itself, the data file will be stored in that folder. This file is nothing but your source data file. It's not a HFM required format data file. It's like a source system data file. Next one is outbox. What is the use of outbox? See here itself, you can archive the files and you can check the logs. Total logs you can check from here itself. You have any errors, data level errors, and the security level errors, you can find all of them by seeing the logs. And moreover, when you convert the data, I mean like what we discussed in previous, you have the trial balance data from US or UK. So I am taking my source systems data as trial balance data, but my target application would be HFM application. How it is going to be loaded? Then you need to give some mappings in FDMEE, then convert the data into as required format of HFM. Then only it's supposed to load the data into HFM application, right? Then fine. Then when you are loading this data into HFM application, the TB data will be converted into required format of HFM data by using the FDMEE application. So when the data file is converted by using the mappings, that data will be stored in Windows folder of Outbox, like this. Here this everything source only. So here itself it will be creating the folders, mean like the data file how it is going to be loaded. Okay, so here the logs, if you have any errors you can find the logs from here itself, and as well as you need to log in into the ODI console and you need to check the process ID and respective logs also over there. Okay, fine. Then the outbox itself is representing the data which is being transformed or converted into the HFM required format. The data will be moving into the outbox. Inbox is having your source system file and your source system data will be having in this inbox. The converted data will be having in outbox. And in inbox also, if you are going for batches, batch data loading, then those batches will be having here itself open batch and batch HTML. So here itself the thing is, if you are going for manual load, the data will be coming to here, and if you are doing some batches, that the batches will be coming into here in open batch. Okay, that scheduling and batches, everything you created, then will be happening over there. Okay, this is the information still now we can see. And here we have some scripts are there. These scripts I will be explain later part this one. As of now, just we need to know what is inbox and what is outbox. And outbox you can find out the logs and archive stores, and if you want to see any converted data, you can check from the outbox. Inbox is representing the data locations and what are the data that you are importing from your source systems. The data will be stored in the respective location itself. If you go for the batches, then the data will be stored in the batches itself only. Okay, this information just about inbox and outbox. Later we can see the data folder and what are the scripts that it has and everything we can see at that moment. Okay, and by tomorrow we can see the rest of the things, like how to create the locations and how to do the period mappings, category mappings, and the locations, how to create the locations, we can see by tomorrow. Okay, any questions till now? Edna, Anusha, Preeti, Raghav? No, no, no. Did you understand, or you are not understanding? That's what you are saying. No, no, or understand. Okay. I mean, this is that something different. It's a like working as a ETL tool.
Vasu,
Yeah, yeah. Go ahead.
I missed some part of it in the starting, so it was difficult to understand.
Okay, okay. We'll forward. Okay, I will forward that video. Okay, you can check it out once again. Okay. I will give the